Hey, welcome in everybody. In this video, I am going to create the angle slider using Inventor 2024. So to begin, what I want to do is I'm going to click on New, and you want to make sure that for this one, the dimensions are in millimeters. So we're going to use the metric template. So I'm going to click the metric folder, select standard millimeters IPT, and then I'm going to select create. And then what I want to do is I'm going to start a 2D sketch, and I'm going to start on this XY plane. And I'm going to begin by creating a rectangle. So I want to use the 2-point option. Drag and move this over a little bit, or not move it, but zoom or pan. Yeah, pan over a little bit. So my first point of my rectangle, I want to select this origin on the green dot and kind of drag it to the right and up a little bit. I'm not worried about the exact dimensions right now. So I'm going to left click to select the opposite corner. I want to right click, select OK. So now we're going to add our dimensions. So I'm going to click on dimension, select this top line, kind of drag it up a little bit. So this is going to be 250 millimeters. So type in 250, zoom back a little bit. Let me move this dimension up out of the way a little bit more. Go back to dimension, select this vertical line, drag it over. That's going to be 120. Press enter. So we are fully constrained there. I'm going to finish my sketch. Click on finish sketch. Zoom out a little bit again. I'm going to extrude. I like to extrude kind of symmetric in both directions. I guess that's what symmetric means. So both directions equally. So select that option. For the distance, I'm going to enter 175. Click OK. Let's see. Then I'm going to start a 2D sketch again. I'm going to select the side face here. I'm going to create another rectangle, 2-point option. I'm going to start it somewhere on this left edge. Just kind of drag it down. Right click, select OK. And then for the dimensions, I'm going to dimension from the bottom corner to the bottom of our rectangle here. That's going to be 35. And then from one side to the other, that's going to be 20. The height of our rectangle from here to here, that's going to be, what is that, 30? Yeah, 30. Okay, so there's our rectangle. We are fully constrained. And if you wanted to, you could create the circle here and then extrude them both all the way through. That's your choice. I think I'm just going to draw one at a time, right? So I'm going to go finish sketch. I'm going to extrude this rectangle. I'm going to cut it all the way through. So through all. Select OK. And then what I'm going to do is start another 2D sketch on the same face. Circle, center point. Yeah, I think it's better to do kind of one element at a time. That way, if you ever need to come back and change things, I don't know. It's just, I think it's better that way. So anyway, I digress. I'm going to make a circle. Right click, hit OK. I'm going to dimension this circle. So the diameter of this is going to be 20. And then we're dimension to the center of our circle to the bottom edge. That is 25. And then from the center of our circle to this edge, that's going to be 50. So let's see. Oh, is this 35? No, that's, yeah, 25. Okay, that's 25. That's 50. Our diameter is 20. Yeah, we're good to go on that. We're fully constrained. I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude this circle. I want to cut, do the cut option all the way through. Click OK. And then I'm going to switch to the top. So I'm going to start 2D sketch on this top surface. Notice how when I did it, kind of rotated it towards kind of going downwards. I like to, where you see the view cube up here, I'm going to click on this arrow that's kind of pointing to the left and rotate it counterclockwise by 90 degrees. So we're kind of looking at it, I think, back the way it makes it easier to add these elements on here or items. So anyway, I'm going to click on circle. Just going to draw a circle somewhere up here. Right click OK. I'm going to click on dimension. Just click the circle itself. So the diameter, blah, blah. The diameter of the circle is going to be, what is that, 20 millimeters. And then we need to dimension where the center of our circle is. So from here to the top is, what is that, 25? Sometimes the number in this book is hard to read. The numbers from here to this edge is 40. We're fully constrained, so I'm just going to double check these. So the center is 25 to 40 with a diameter of 20. Okay, so I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude this circle, select the inside of the circle. And it's going to go, we're going to cut it. And it's going to go all the way through. I'm going to select OK. So we have that. So from here we could, it just depends on which do we want to do next. So I think I'm going to select Start 2D Sketch. Let's click on the side face here. And let's create this angle. So I'm going to go up to where you see project geometry. I'm going to select not the words, but the icon above it. And I'm going to select this top edge and this right side edge. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on line. I'm just going to draw a line from this top line to the right side here. Right click, hit OK. So now I'm going to dimension the ends of this line. So click on dimension. So from this bottom corner to the right end of this line, that's going to be 25. And then from this end of the line to, let's say, this corner, this edge, whatever, that's going to be, what is that? That's 90. Looks like 90 to me. So there's that. I'm double checking. We're fully constrained. Yeah, okay. So finish our sketch. I'm going to extrude this triangle piece out. So we want to cut all the way through. Click OK. What can we do next? Let me go back to the top of it. So start 2D sketch. This top face. I'm going to rotate it counterclockwise. I'm going to create a rectangle. I'm going to use a 2-point option. And I'm just going to draw a rectangle from one end or one edge of this to the other edge. It really doesn't matter. You could even go all the way off the object if we wanted. We really don't need that much of this rectangle, but just so we can constrain it easier, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw it to this side like so, and then right click, OK. I'm going to click on dimension. So the height of this, our rectangle, that's going to be 75. And then from the top edge to our rectangle here, that's going to be 50. 50, yeah. So now we're fully constrained. Again, we don't need this whole thing. You'll see what I mean when we're going to finish our sketch. We're going to extrude this. So make sure you want to select both sides of your rectangle so you get the whole schmeal there. I don't know if schmeal's a word, but I just made it up. We're going to go to Boolean cut, and we're going to go, instead of going all the way through this time, we want to have a distance of 25. Click OK. There we go. So now we just need to make that little side angle piece. So how do we do that? Oh yeah, start 2D sketch on this top face here. I'm going to rotate it again counterclockwise. Center this thing. To center it, what I did is, if you have a wheel mouse thingy, I just held down the wheel of the mouse and just kind of drag it around where you want it. You probably already know that, but anyway, what I want to do next is I'm going to project geometry. So I'm going to project these two bottom lines and this vertical line here. And now we can just draw a line from somewhere over here. Try not to grab on one of these constrained because that'll lock you in. You won't be able to move that line. So I'm just going to select somewhere over here, somewhere on this side here. Right click, hit OK. And then what I'm going to do is dimension this end of the line. Let me make sure I got that right. Dimension from here to there. That's going to be, where is that? 75. 75. And then I'm going to select this angled line. Select this bottom line. So you should get your kind of your an angle dimension pop up. So we don't want it to be 21. We want that to be 30 degrees. And then again, we are fully constrained down here. So right click, hit OK. So then we can hit finish sketch. I'm going to extrude a little triangle here. So make sure you zoom in and you get this other little triangle-y piece there. So you get that whole like look piece, that whole like pie looking thing. I want to extrude cut, and we're gonna go all the way through, right? So we want to go through all, and then click OK. So there is our completed angle slider. Let me click on the home. So if you want to add color to it or whatever, what I would suggest, I'm gonna kind of double left click where it says part 3, and then we want to rename this. Mine says part 3 because I've been practicing a little bit. So yours probably says part 1. Anyway, I'm going to name this angle slider. Like so. So there we go. Also, when you see where it says extrusion 1 through 7, like if you were to come back later on and try to edit this, you were like, okay, what is extrusion 4? What is extrusion 5? You might get confused. So you could also rename each of your extrusions to where you know kind of what that extrusion is. That's also sometimes helpful, but I'm not going to go over that in this video, but we'll kind of leave it like so. So anyway, make sure you save it, and I hope that helped. If you have any questions, leave a comment, good or bad. Doesn't matter, just, keep it professional. All right, so, and I hope to see you in the next video. All right, peace out.